Jack gonna look to overfarm before firing off the foul play. That will secure the knockout. Show me something we can nuke. The opponent sends out Skarmory, asks, and you shall receive. If Skarmory doesn't know about that Fire Blast coverage, they're about to find out. Welcome back to the channel, a place that I like to call the home of Shadow Pokemon. I'm sure you're all super hyped, super excited for the start of next season, myself included. YouTube is absolutely full of people giving their opinion on move updates, trying to analyse the new meta, etc. However, I'm sure some of you just want to see some battles, and don't worry, I've got you. Well, more precisely, my friend Jack Diesel's got us with a ridiculous theme team here in the Open Great League. He left a note on the battle submission saying, "This is for the pet lovers in all of us. We've got a cat and dog theme team." He actually had to power all three of these Pokemon up. We all know Shadows are not cheap. And he decided to try and get some wins in the Open Great League. He started this challenge at almost 2500 elo, and he said he dropped all the way down to 2100 without getting a single win. And looking to the left, it's easy to see why, as this team has pretty much terrible coverage on the entire meta. The most meta-relevant Pokemon on the team is Shadow Purugly. I'm sure you've probably never even seen a Purugly in battle. That is what we're dealing with. However, with that being said, without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game one, we let our grumpy cat, as Jack likes to call it, into Steelix. Of course, two better responses in the back. We say switch into Arcanine, drawing out Altaria. We're able to fire off back-to-back Psychic Fangs, but unfortunately Altaria tanks both and doesn't need to invest a Protect Shield. Jack, sitting in a pretty dreadful spot, let's not kid ourselves. We're now going to send out Houndoom, look to get a running start. We correctly shield up the Moonblast. We then get the full Snarl farm down. Jack is down a Protect Shield, but at least we've got a bit of residual energy. Good to go. The opponent send back out Steelix. Perhaps they're double weak to Houndoom. Please, for the love of God, be weak to Houndoom. Jack now all shields down. He's now going to overfarm. We build up to the Fire Blast bait with the foul play. Foul play, goes shielded Jack, then banks a foul play for the road and sends back out the grumpy cat. Purugly can only hit Steelix for resisted with its charge moves of Aerial Ace or Aerial Arc and Thunder. However, the Shadow Claws were starting to chunk. The opponent pivots out into Sableye. Indeed, this opponent is double weak to Houndoom. We fire off the first Aerial Ace. The opponent chooses not to invest that Protect Shield. Purugly reaches Aerial Ace number 2 on the CMP tie. Okay, this could be playable. If Houndoom can double up on charge moves, I think we win. Out comes Houndoom. We do get the full Snarl farm. That's going to be a race. Can we reach the double before the opponent reaches the break-in swipe? The first foul play will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. And no! The opponent reaches the break-in swipe. And unfortunately, we're going to take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Purugly into Golbat. Probably not the worst lead, as the opponent can't nuke us with a Shadow Ball, as that would be double resisted. They can only go for Poison Fangs. We farm up, throw the Aerial Ace, winning the charge move priority event. The opponent going to be spamming out the Poison Fang, and I imagine we're going to pivot, as we are on an ABB team with double weak to water amongst many other things. Speaking of which, we managed to draw out Swampert. What is this team's Swampert answer? I have no idea. However, gaining ourselves early shield advantage is probably best case scenario. Swampert overfarms before firing off the Hydro Cannon. Jack, recognising we're going to be unable to take back switch, happy to take his shield advantage. Of course, we're going to have to send back up Purugly, as our Houndoom literally doesn't want that smoke, you can see, evaporating off Swampert's Shadow Aura. Jack sends back out Purugly. Of course, we had to invest to protect shield back, blocking the incoming Hydro Cannon. Jack overfarms, fires off the Aerial Ace, securing the knockout, and it's Houndoom time. Let's go Houndoom. The opponent sends out Golbat, pivot out into Kofa Grigas. Once again, this is playable. If Jack manages his energy well, we fire off the foul play, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Houndoom does resist all moves in Kofa Grigas' arsenal. The opponent fire off the double resisted Psychic, fishing for the defense drop. They don't get it. I think Jack had to overfarm here, but let's see if we're alright. We throw the foul play, securing the knockout. Back out comes Golbat. The opponent going to be forced to throw. This Poison Fang will secure the knockout, but I think we can Shadow Claw farm down. Out comes Purugly. No, we get denied coming in. Are you absolutely serious? You can see Golbat makes a charge move on quite literally 1 HP. We should have Shadow Claw farmed down. Jack rage quit the recording. Like, absolutely cannot blame him. Niantic, fix this fucking game before the start of Season 18. Moving on to the next one. Purugly into Azumarill. Not a particularly bad matchup. We do have that Thunder coverage. However, Jack looks like he's opting to go straight Aerial Ace all the way. Just looking to chunk the health off Azumarill or perhaps get some shields down. The opponent tanks 2 Aerial Aces really easily as Aerial Ace It's still a move that I call Aerial Ash just for its absolutely pitiful damage output. Jack completely sacks the cat. However, with the water type up front, hopefully our dogs can clean up. The opponent even make a departing Ice Beam for the road. Oh gosh, it's going to be all down to Houndoom once again. However, Arcanine going to fire off the Wild Charge, getting some decent chip damage on this Licky. Far too thicky. Houndoom comes in, the opponent plays the CMP tie. They do not win. Shout out Home Size Henry for that quote. Foul play, goes unshielded. The opponent's final Pokemon is Skeledirge. Only Wincon is going to be making a catch. Let's see if Jack manages to pull it off. Of course, the opponent going to be shielding up absolutely everything. Likewise, we're going to shield up this incoming disarming voice. Jack can then one and throw. Hopefully switch timer pops up after this and the opponent spam the charge move. Does our switch timer pop up? Yes, it does. Oh, unfortunately, we don't make the catch and once again take a heartbreaking loss. Moving on to the next battle. As if running this team wasn't hard enough, we're seeing BBML absolutely everywhere. Once again, Purugly into Azumarill. I think it's interesting Jack just isn't YOLO in the Thunder. Azumarils don't typically shield. I think we could probably get a pretty good opportunity at landing one again. We farm up past the Thunder bait with the Aerial Ace. What do I know? The opponent actually does choose to shield Azumarill. Jack then fires off one Shadow Claw and the Aerial Ace for optimal fast move timing. 2 turn into 3 turn. You always want to throw one quick move, 4 or 7, only giving the opponent 1 free turn of energy. Jack then tries his luck and making an Ice Beam catch onto Arcanine. The opponent hold their energy, however they don't have Hydro Pump, so we tank the play rough. The opponent send out Frostlass. Are you serious? They must be so weak to fire. We fire off the Psychic Fang. Psychic Fang goes unshielded. The opponent then snipe with Trevenant. This surely has to be our win. Jack sends back out the cat. As we do double resist the Shadow Claws, we actually lose CMP. Jack recognising the hardest move left in the game will be a potential Avalanche from Frostlass. We save our Protect Shield once again. Jack recognising we can't shield this move up. The opponent fire off the Seed Bomb. We withstand the damage back out. Comes Frostlass. We're going to shield up the incoming Avalanche. Commit to the Snail Farm down and Jack finally picks up a dub. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, yet another mighty blue mouse. My god, is this thing prevalent in the 2100s or what? Literally 3 times in a row. Again, Jack doesn't throw the Thunder and the opponent shows no respect. Come on, Jack, just YOLO the nuke. Show that stupid blue mouse who's the boss. This matchup reminds me of the good old cartoon Tom and Jerry, where of course the cat should catch the mouse, but the mouse usually comes out on top. But undeterred, Jack, looking to put cats back on the map against these mice, fires off Aerial Ace after Aerial Ace, forcing a Protect Shield and then making the catch onto Arcanine. If this mouse doesn't pivot, we're going to get a very nice resisted Fire Fang farm down, but it's going to cost us almost all of our HP. The opponent sends out Sableye. Jack only going to make one move. YOLO's the Wild Charge. Wild Charge forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We also lower our own defense, minimizing the free farm. Jack now has put Houndoom in a position with shield advantage, looking to clean up this battle. The opponent at a potential return. Jack thinks about calling the bait. Last second, we invest the Protect Shield. The opponent falls in the return. Jack now over farms, fires off the foul play. Foul play will be securing the knockout. Show me something we can nuke. Ask and you shall receive. The opponent sends out Skarmory and Skarmory is going to be straight in and straight out. Fire Blast, massive overkill. Get that Skarmory out of here and Jack takes an emphatic dub. GG's. In the next battle, we see a long lost friend, the Bear Trap, very, very much fallen out of the meta this season due to the prevalence of Wish Daddy Cash. We've got 2 better responses in the back. Well, we have 2 fire types in the back. Houndoom, Run and Snail, not going to be particularly good against Stunfisk. We aggressively switch out into Arcanine. The opponent now send out Golbat. Both of Arcanine's charge moves do hit Golbat for super effective. We force a Protect Shield with the Psychic Fangs and apply the debuff effect. Jack not willing to go all in on Arcanine, and that's a very good idea, as Houndoom with no Protect Shield is very much going to be a dead dog. The Stunfisk we saw in the lead is still going to be a very big headache for Jack. We send back out Purugly, fire off the Aerial Ace, and what looks like to be a charge move priority event Aerial Ace secures the knockout. The opponent now send out Pelipper. This time there is no bait and we full send the Thunder. Does the opponent respect the damage? Get that Pelipper out of here! Purugly does land a huge boom. However, I think this is still going to be game over for us. We do make a departing Aerial Ace. No, the opponent's shield. Does that give us a win con? I think Jack has to call the bait. Call a Rock Slide, Jack. Be brave. The opponent does indeed bait. with the rock side. However, it doesn't matter. Houndoom able to reach the foul play on yet another CMP site, and Jack somehow pulls off the dub. GG's. I've actually just checked on PV Poke. I don't actually think Jack could have called the bait there, as a non-stab rock slide from a defense-weighted Pokemon like Stunfisk actually does 85%, which is just ridiculous. In the next battle, we see Purugly into Dragonair. To my surprise, the opponent doesn't invest a Protect Shield on the Aerial Ace. We then pivot out into Arcanine. I've got no idea why the opponent didn't throw a charge move. They then send out a Alolan Sandslash. Sandslash gets deleted in the blink of an eye. And then the opponent is just going to concede the match. Arcanine popping off. In the next battle, dreadful lead. We pivot into Arcanine and the opponent send out Skarmory. Trainer, what are you doing? This is not the switch you're looking for. We fire off the Psychic Fang, forcing the opponent's Protect Shield. Jack, of course, going to shield in return. Arcanine going to be able to commit to the full Fire Fang farm down. Get that Skarmory off my screen. And the opponent, once again, going to concede the match. In the next battle, we've got a Grumpy Cat into the Angry Snowman. Jack very aggressively pivots into Arcanine, and again the opponent has no response. They send out a Razor Leaf Ludicolo, which of course is no response. The opponent shield up the Psychic Fang. Jack looking for the full Fire Fang farm down, and we get it. Arcanine just putting in so much work in these last few battles. This trainer's running triple grass. The disrespect for fire is unbelievable. Jack forced the final Protect Shield with the Psychic Fangs. We now send out Purugly. We could shield, we could let it go. It looks like Jack choosing to use a Protect Shield, shielding up the Frenzy Plant. We then return fire with the Aerial Ace, with a lower defense. Aerial Ace, despite being a garbage move, is going to secure the knockout. Back out comes a Bomber Snow. We're able to reach one further Aerial Ace, and Houndoom is going to get a well-deserved rest on the bench. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead Purugly into Jellicent. Finally a good lead. The opponent say switch into Skarmory, and Skarmory is instantly met with the wrath of our Arcanine. Jack probably going to shield once, commit to the full Fire Fang farm down. The opponent fire off the Brave Bird, minimising the free farm we can get. Back out comes Jellicent. We're going for the Psychic Fang bait. Psychic Fang, force to Protect Shield. Can we reach the Wild Charge? Yes, we can. The question is, does the opponent respect the damage? Oh! Jack, much like me, anticipating the no shield, got the screenshot for the road, but all we saw was Jellicent block a charge move. This Jellicent's actually running Bubble, which makes it not too bad into Purugly. The opponent then aggressively pivot out into Toxicroak, looking for the snipe. We fire off the Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace doesn't get the job done. It's now all down to Houndoom. Houndoom comes in, getting absolutely eaten alive by these counters. Of course, Jack going to be shielding up everything. We shield up the Mud Bomb. We leave with the charge move. Is one foul play enough to knock out the big bad Jellyfish? Who was worried? And Jack picks up the dub. GG's. Heading into the next battle, we see Purugly into Charjabug. When I saw these battles submitted to me, I was thinking, what the heck is going on with this sky? I thought, has someone spiked my drink with acid or something? I've got no idea why it's purple, but we're just going to roll with it. Jack continuing to be more aggressive than Mike Tyson when he was first released from prison back in the early 1990s. Aggressively sent out Arcanine, got off some Fire Fang damage onto Charjabug, and the opponent sends out Talonflame. Jack shows huge cojones, calling the Flame Charge bait. Arcanine withstands the next Incinerate, reaches Psychic Fang, number 2. Talonflame does survive, but Jack once again has obtained himself shield advantage. Jack sends out Purugly. That Shadow Claw will be securing the knockout. So we're going to shield up the incoming fly. The opponent sends back out Charjabug. Charjabug does reach a charge move, and Jack's putting all his hopes and dreams on the back of Houndoom. To my surprise, Purugly actually survived the X-Scissor. Jack banks the Aerial Ace for the road and sends out Houndoom. Houndoom going to shield up the X-Scissor. It'll probably knock us out, as we've seen Houndoom cannot chunk a charge move to save its life. The opponent's final Pokemon is Wish Daddy Cash. Can we win this game? We fire the first foul play, which goes unshielded. We're able to outpace to foul play number 2. This will be forcing the final protection. It looks like the opponent's looking to double up on charge moves. It's going to be all down to Purugly. Can Aerial Ace knock out Wish Daddy Cash? We come in, win the charge move prior event. Please, Aerial Ace, don't be Aerial Ass. And once again, Aerial Ace lets us down, and unfortunately, we're going to take a loss. Moving on to the next one. We see another Charjabug in the lead. Does Charjabug just somehow make this sky go really trippy? What is going on? We fire off the Aerial Ace. Once again, Jack, super aggressive, sends out Arcanine, and this time We're met with Sableye Jack going straight for the wild charge, looking to do maximum damage. Wild charge forces the opponent's final protect shield on the CMP's eye. Jack now has a 2-0 shield advantage. The opponent smartly goes for the undercharge, recognising they shouldn't have played to the CMP side. They did not win. However, they did recover very nicely, undercharging and leaving with energy. We now send out Houndoom. This is only a foul play. Jack unwilling to shield a resisted move, and holy crap, that did a lot. Houndoom is so glassy. It is literally unbelievable. Back out comes Charger Bug. Of course, Jack going to start investing Protect Shields. We shield up the discharge. We then bank the charge move, pivot out into Purugly, drawing out Venusaur. Aerial Ace does hit for super effective, but we already know it certainly won't knock out, despite Venusaur also being very much on the glassy side. We look to fire off the next Aerial Ace, but unfortunately lose CMP. Jack just going to save his Protect Shield for Houndoom. Houndoom comes in, gets the full style farm down, and we're going to get off one final Fire Blast to end the video. GG's, and thanks for playing. Huge shout out to Jack Diesel 1, sacrificing all of his elo to bring us some of the most entertaining battles we've had the pleasure of shoutcasting all season. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.